What's going on, everyone? This is Reggie Haynes, and you are tuned in to another edition of the RHTV/Reggie Haynes Podcast. And today, I have a special guest, and this is my man, Michael. And Michael is the host of the brand new show that's going to be featured under the RHTV Network, or the RHTV Podcast, rather. It's called Too Real for the World Podcast.
Too Real for the World.
Michael, how are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Reggie?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you so much for being a guest on this show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
The pleasure's all mine. Now, when it comes in regards to this show, before we get to the basics of what the show is going to be about, what should people know about you, Michael, the human being?
Well, I am a high school student at my last year at high school. I've got a lot going on. I'd say I'm just a pretty happy guy. I'm just everything happening, the exams, the podcasts, my team, everything. Sometimes it feels like a bit too much, but then at the end of the day, I just realized that I love these people. I love everything that's happening. Life is way too beautiful to be wasted. So I get up every day with a smile on my face, ready to do what I gotta do.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, you said that at times it's a little bit difficult. When you say difficult, what do you mean by that? Are you saying difficult being a high school student, a teenager, all of the above? What do you mean specifically when you talk about those things being difficult?
Well, it's my first time living, so a lot of people's first time living. So I don't know too much, and I don't know what's right. I don't know what's wrong. I'm just saying that sometimes it feels like I'm running low on energy because the pressure is all too much. And I feel like for a teenager, you probably don't know too much about the world because you don't know what you want yet. You don't know what you want to do with your life. And all the pressures, they just come at you at once. I feel like that's just what I'm going through. I feel like I'll get through it. I'll get through it.
Absolutely. I know you will, man, because, being one of your teachers, I always see, I don't like using the word potential because I feel like potential is something that, okay, this person has a possibility. I know it's guaranteed that you're going to go far, that you're doing great things, and it's only going to get better from here, and you're handling it well. You're very welcome. I'm just being honest. But, and speaking of honesty, Too Real for the World. That seems like it's an honest approach when it comes in regards to your podcast. So is that what the podcast is going to be based on? You being blatantly honest with your guests or just with your audience? Tell us more about this podcast that you got coming out. Too Real for the World Podcast.
Too Real for the World Podcast. Coming out soon. Me and my team, we compiled this podcast to talk about the different generations, how people are coping with life from different generations, from the boomers to the Gen Z myself. I don't think we might go that slow to the Gen Alpha. For those who don't know, the Gen Alpha is the youngest generation as of now, right? We just want to compare the complexities of life across these different levels. So we're going to be talking about and asking deep, hard-hitting questions. Like Reggie Haynes.
Okay, here we go.
Reggie Haynes, you are a person who lived in the Western world for quite some time.
That is correct.
But then you had a mission. You were a man on a mission. You went against all odds. Fought against a lot of people and a lot of hate to come to Africa. Something a lot of people in my generation cannot do.
Well, I disagree. I feel like there's a lot of people in your generation who can definitely do that. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of people are telling themselves that they can't because there's so much programming that's telling them that. So I'm gonna have to disagree. I feel like a lot of people are capable of doing that. But you asked me a question.
Yes.
And I'm going to answer that right after this commercial break. You guys stay tuned.
You know what? I need to talk to you. My mom sent me a note. And you're my father.
The House of Reggie's Visits Mentor Center. Premiering soon, only on Mentor Center TV. And we're back on the RHTV Podcast, also known as the Reggie Haynes Podcast. And today I have my special guest, Michael, and he is the new host of the new podcast, Too Real for the World podcast. And before we went to commercial break, Michael asked a great question in regards to how have I gone against the odds,
All the hate and all
around the hate, just basically ignoring them. I think a few weeks ago we were talking just briefly, and you were telling me about a situation, and I said, Michael, negativity doesn't belong in my life. If I allow negativity to belong, I'm going to end up stooping down to a low level of negativity. For all those people that's watching in life, you got this type of meter to where it's like people who are negative make you think that in reality they're up here, you're down there. But in reality, what's happening is they're trying to basically pull you down. And for me, when I see the bigger picture, it doesn't work. So anybody who tries to say negative things towards me, hate messages, or tell me that I can't do something, those are people I shouldn't even have in my life to begin with. And that's why I've made this, phenomenal, what I call a phenomenal journey to transition my life from the West over to the motherland.
That's very beautiful. That's very beautiful. That's something we're also going to be talking about on the Too Real for the World podcast. We're going to be diving into deep conversations like this where people are struggling with some people out there are suicidal and they just need a bit of encouragement or words from the right people.
And speaking of that, say for instance, there was a person out there right now who was going through a suicidal moment. What will be your words for them, if you don't mind me asking?
My words for someone going through a suicidal breakdown: it's not the end of the world. Whatever it is you're facing right now, pain is not permanent. You are not a failure. The only time that you actually fail is when you say, I give up. Right now, you are just in a downturn. Bad things happen all the time. And we're not saying you're not supposed to feel it. No, you're human. You're supposed to feel it. Right? Those are your emotions. You gotta feel them. But you don't stick in them. Don't stay in those emotions. Know that those emotions are not you. And that your life can be changed and you can be happy again if you just push through. And I know that you got the strength to do it. All you gotta do is try.
You heard it here first on the RHTV podcast. That is Michael, and he will be the host of the new up-and-coming podcast called Too Real for the World podcast. And I love what you're saying to the audience right now. I'm giving you guys glimpses, and Mike's giving you guys glimpses of what to expect. But if you want to see more or hear more from this young man and his crew, be on the lookout for the Too Real for the World podcast.
That was a spoiler alert.
Michael, before we head into our next commercial break, I want to ask you, is there any shout outs that you want to give to anybody out there?
Yes, I want to shout out to my mama, to my sister, to my brother, to my daddy, to my friend Kudzi, to my friend Ishmael, to my friend Charles, to you, Reggie Haynes, to the host of the podcast channel, Let's Talk. Her name is Tyann, I presume. Yeah. I want to give a shout out to her because she's a good friend of mine.
Sounds good. Now, we're going to take our last commercial break, and you guys stay tuned right here on the RHTV Podcast Network. Thank you. And we're back on the RHTV podcast, which is formerly known as the Reggie Haynes Podcast. And today I have had my special guest, Michael, who is the host of the brand new podcast called Too Real for the World podcast. We've talked about suicide. We've talked about, the struggles of being a teenager. And now we're going to end off things with what I like to call the final words from the guest. Michael, for all of those people who are watching or listening right now, what are your final words to them in regards to why should they tune into your podcast every time an episode releases?
That's a very beautiful question. Our mission with the Too Real for the World podcast is to help people out there understand each other better and then understand themselves better we want people to have a positive outlook on life, because life is very beautiful. With this podcast, we hope that people learn, grow, and push through whatever it is they're going through. And we want to be there to help them on the journey. We don't want any credit for it, but we want to be able to say, you know what, we inspired hearts out there, and that makes us happy. That's our mission with the Two Rule for the World podcast.
I know that mission is definitely going to be a successful one, King. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
The pleasure's all mine. Mike was always giving nice, firm handshakes. We hit the mic a little bit, but the mic is still intact on the RHTV podcast.
My name is Michael, by the way.
And you know what? You guys make sure that you remember that name, because great things are coming his way and also the team's way. I want to give a special shout out to you, Mike, Kuds, also Charles, who have been doing a phenomenal job, not just with the RHTV podcast, but also with Reggie Haynes in Africa, a phenomenal platform that I'm enjoying more and more as time goes on. You guys be sure to subscribe to all channels, where the links are in the description below. And also, tune in for more podcasts coming your way from the RHTV Podcast Network. Thank you so much again, Michael, for coming on, being a special guest. And for those that want to check out my interview with Michael, click the link on screen.